Okay, good day everyone, and welcome to Academic Corner with Josh. This is a platform through which academians all over the world share their academic and non-academic experience, knowledge, research, and so many other things, in order for them to get engaged into the society for for networking, for partnership, and everything. So please, thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe and to share with your friends, and then put up your comments and so on and so forth. I'm very important if you want to be part of it, if you want to engage in this interactive discussion. Please always reach out to me so that we can always make our time for to have this kind of knowledge discussion. So here with us, we have this very moment. We have a very accomplished academician whose name is Dr. Okay, let me say Dr. Pastor, Dr. Pastor Sunday Goodness John. He's in the Department of Communication, Media, and Cultural Studies from the Pan Athletic, right? Atlantic University, Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria. So he's been an accomplished academic. He wants to share his academic life, academic history, and to inspire the next generation of academians and his students as well. So, Doctor, over to you. You are welcome to this platform. Welcome to this engaging platform whereby you're allowed to express yourself, share your knowledge, so that you can groom the next person, and then someone can learn, understand how you have done it, and the challenges to be able to learn, and then to make it in this academic life. So Doctor, please, can you tell us from where I stopped? I know you have a lot to say. Please, can you quickly tell us about yourself? Who are you? Let me start with that.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. And thank you, everybody. About myself, you have captured information about myself. The only thing I would add is that well, I studied at Amity University. That's where I got my PhD in environmental communication. And of course, all my studies, but the first degree, the second degree, that's master's degree, I had them in India. The first degree is from SRM University in Chennai, India. The master's in mass communication from Madras University, also in India. And then I have my PhD in Amity University in Delhi, in India. And I'm lecturing at Mathematics University, Department of Mass Communication, Media and Cultural Studies, under the School of Media and Communication of the school. This is about my 7th year, my seventh year. So, see, I've not too long but
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. And then yeah, I can see that you have taught you have a wide experience on that in your research area. And 70 years is not a 7 days, not 7 weeks. It's quite a number of, maybe before coming into academic environment, where did you started your career? And then why do you leave? Why do you move from your previous career environment to academy? What motivated you to come into academy?
Yeah, before I went into academia, I was in the media.
Okay.
I was in media. I've worked in the media as a reporter. I've worked in the public relations sector. I've worked, even when I worked in the bank, when I was in the banking sector, I was in the banking sector. So, because I've always had this passion, for the media, that's why all my studies, even before I got my A in mass communication, I had a diploma in journalism, and from there I progressed to PhD. So most of my life,
Okay. So wow, that's great. So you from private sector to academic environment, everything has been in the line of media. That is great. So and then I believe when you came into academic environment, there was no issues of trying to adjust, because I know that's one of the things that always challenge some people when they're moving from one career environment to another. They have that kind of challenging to adjust. But I believe being in the media space across these industries, you find it so easy to adjust, to cope, and everything. That is great. So but what can you say? How can you put it that being an academia have shaped your life all these years compared to what you had before coming to academic?
yeah, well, in the first instance, transiting from the media to the academia wasn't challenging at all, because even in the academia, it is the same media environment. One thing is that the media is the media everywhere.
Okay.
And as to how my being in the academia has shaped my uh, my life, not that. The media is all about knowledge, and that knowledge is you have to be versatile. You
Okay.
have to know something about everything, and the same thing applies in the academia, because you are teaching the students, so
Yes.
you have to be ahead of them in knowledge, and because students come with a lot of questions and all that, so you keep on updating your knowledge, and that is what I do. Because if teacher doesn't want to get past the class, that teacher have to keep on updating its
True.
knowledge. So I read a lot. I listen to the mass media, radio, television. In fact, one of my hobbies is listening to the radio. Not listening to music, not listening to any other thing, but listening to news, listening to discussions in the media and all that, and also reading newspapers. In the morning, one of the first things I do is to go through the newspapers, to know what is in the news. So that has been way my life has shaped since uh, my youthful days in the media, and I still carry it on to the academia, because it is the same field.
That is very interesting. So that means that your teaching um revolves around what happened in the society. So that brings me to another question that was that go, that so um how do you find it rewarding, or how rewarding is it for you teaching, and not just teaching, connecting your teaching to the real life event, to the content, to practical event in the society, in the media industry, and also how can you say that you this how do you engage your student in making your teaching much more practical, being that you are you move from private sector to academic environment, you still maintain the line of listening to news, listening to programs on radio, TVs, and all those kind of things. That, I believe, informs your teaching. So how do you ensure that you engage, you married what you hear, what you listen on radio to your classroom and teaching?
Okay, thank you very much. In the first instance, I teach mainly writing courses, writing for the media and investigative journalism,
okay,
media evaluation, and these are mainly the courses I teach, and these courses are practical in nature.
Yes.
That have to take students out, give them assignment of what to write and all that. So, and for somebody to take these courses, the person has to know is trending in the society. And you know that the present crop of students we have all over the are more interested in what I call show business, but they're more interested in celebrities are doing and doing what is trending. I mean, the current affairs and all that around them. But this is unavoidable for any media, mass communication students, So, but to make them interested in these things, first thing I do in class with my students is to count down to their level. They're youngsters. So the age difference is there, but one shouldn't be conscious of that. When you get to the class, if you want to impact the students, you have to come down to their level. Be jovial with them sometimes, be jovial with them so that they will feel relaxed, to get along through, and also be very interactive in the way that you deliver your lectures and delivered, very interactive, and also be very practical. Let them do the things, not just teaching them, let them put some of the things in practice.
Yeah.
When I think about when I get, and there are many playing video for them, video that's related to the topic you want to teach, and if it's a video, they will be interested, and then after that, maybe for a minute, 2 minutes, after that, then get into the topic, generally that the life of most, I wouldn't say every media professional, but the life of most media professionals are down to earth. Okay. If you go to newsrooms, you see the conviviality, you see the jokes, you see whether the editor, the news editor, the reporter, everybody come down to the same level and they interact and crack jokes, and that is also what I think that a classroom should be, where is ahead of them for everybody, them.
Okay, that is good. That is good, doctor. Meaning that for your teaching to be much more impactful, it should go through. It should have element of practicality, which also goes with engagement, finding a way. Because many people find it talks about that this generation, Gen Zs, blah blah blah, they have this and that because of that. But you always try to find a way to bring your teaching into their own level, to their own level of age and everything, to make it much more engaging. That's very interesting. So now, so what can you say is your highlight of your the highest achievement in your teaching experience? or your career?
Okay. What I would consider the highest achievement in my teaching career is, well, the um, articles, the research articles are published, and the journals where I publish them. So publishing such articles in highly rated in Q2, Q3.
Okay.
To me, I think that's achievements in that, and they are not as a journals where one can say, okay, you paid money to publish.
Yes.
No, these are subscription journals. No money, no dime was paid, and getting public there to me is an achievement.
That's good. So that being that you're talking about your publication. So, what is your main research interest, and what impact do you have? Do you hope your research will make or is making in the world of media?
My main research interest is in environmental communication,
Okay.
and particularly in climate change. And we know that climate change is a very critical issue all over the world now. But in third world countries, we see a situation, what I would call kind of, it doesn't affect the kind of attitude.
Okay.
Both from the governments and from people. And that is basically because of the development, that when you in the rural areas, not just in the areas, see that domestic fuel is mainly kerosene, charcoal, and those things that have pollute the air. Our vehicles are not tend, so they exude carbon monoxide, and the lifestyle. You look at the solid waste. A lot of plastics that are not, degradable, litter here and there, affecting the sea, affecting the sea lives and all that. So, my major interests is to create knowledge and awareness, and also behavioral change of people towards the environment, toward the climate change. It is clear that most causes of climate change is anthropogenic, that is human caused.
Yeah.
And if human beings would know the effects of climate change, first of all, get to know that this is real, and know the causes of it. They will be able to adjust their lifestyle to the things that sustain the environment. So that is my interest in it. And I have to say that in Africa, the issue of environmental communication is it is not a popular area right now. I have done a study, interviewed media professionals about environmental communication and all that. Many of them don't even not many media houses have environmental desk. They just report it as any other news. But that shouldn't be, especially with the kind of traction that climate change and other should have gained all over the world. There's supposed to be a more serious approach to it, both from the government and from the public. So my focus really in this is to create the knowledge and awareness about environmental issues, and through that bring about change of behavior of.
Okay, that is great because of course the first time I heard about your research, environmental communication, I was like, okay, what is this all about? But it's really a very good a good niche area, research niche area, which should be promoted because of different kinds of issues of climate change in our society, mainly in Africa here. So now looking at that, so what is your secret? Because you talked about that you publish in a high impact journals. What is your secret of being able to publish there and also being able to write? Because one of the difficult parts of being an academic is to write. Many are good academians, but when it comes to research, which is part of their part of their job, they like they are not really getting it. So what is your secret in achieving all those number of publications and not just that in a high impact journals? Yeah.
Okay, my secret, first of all, is my institution.
Okay.
My university encourages publications in high impact journals.
Okay.
And one of the ways to do that is by assigning points to publications based on where they are published.
Okay.
I remember the first time I went to my dean and had a very brief discussion with him about a paper I wanted to publish. He told me I should ensure that I publish it in a high quality journal, and that sent a message to me. So the school pays emphasis on not just publication, but on where it is published, the second secret is that I'm deliberate about it. I'm very intentional about it, before I start writing any research paper, I have set my mind on where I want it to be published. I'm rather, I would prefer to review my article 10 times, even if it takes 3 years to do that, 2 years to do it, than to say, oh, these people are Westman, let me just publish it anyhow.
Okay.
So I'm very intentional about where I publish my papers, and when I decide the article where to publish my papers, I structure my article, fit into the style, the focus of that journal.
Okay, that is quite interesting, and I believe this will really encourage upcoming researchers to be mindful of that, where they publish and what they should be able to, how they should look at to that, so that they can be to publish in a very good journal. So I believe so. In your academic life, what is your highest achievement? And then how do you manage to achieve it apart from publication and stuff like that? Yeah.
Talking about achievement apart from publication, I wouldn't perhaps the additional achievement I would talk about is my ability to impact the life of young people, impart knowledge onto them, and it gives me joy when students pass out from the university and they still keep in touch, and they keep in touch because of the impact that teacher has made in their lives. I appreciate that. It gives me joy, so that is part of my achievement.
Okay, thank you so much. We are wrapping up. So now, being that you're an academia, you're a family man, and also I understand that you also you're a pastor as well. So how do you balance among all these demanding tasks and everything? How do you balance your life?
Um, well, like the Bible says, give Caesar to that which is Caesar's, and give God to the one that belongs to God.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but actually, I have to appreciate my university. I appreciate them because they pay serious emphasis on family life.
Oh,
Yeah, they pay serious emphasis on that. I remember one day I left office in the around 6 p.m. or so. I was standing with a colleague outside and we're joking. And then our vice principal, sorry, our vice chancellor passed, and called us, said, what are we still doing here? That the school has closed. Why not that we should go home and be with our family?
that's great.
you know, and not just that, because where I live, in fact, I drive about 75 kilometers to the school.
Wow.
So that's quite some distance. So
Yeah.
what I do is, and the school recognizes that and structures the timetable in
Oh,
a way that enables me to come to school maybe 2 days in the week or 3 days at most and teach all my subjects and then go home and be with my family. So that is their cooperation is very important and laudable. Then the church also, for the church, they also recognize that I have some other thing I'm doing, that I'm teaching, something like that. So they also structure or permit me to structure the activities in my district, the way that would accommodate my work. So when there are meetings, if I'm not able to go, then I just tell them, oh, because of my work, I will not be able to attend, and there is no problem about that. For my family, yeah, they understand. And luckily, all my children are in the universities now, so it just my wife and myself. So
oh,
we don't have much problem.
oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So things are things are cool and things are relatively balanced. No pressure of taking care of kids and everything. That is good. So now,
Eh,
um, so
exactly.
in summary, what can you say is your academic life challenges and how you manage to overcome them and your advice for upcoming academians?
Um, Life is without challenges. We may say it is rosy, but even in the midst of that, there are challenges. And of course, the greatest challenge that a teacher faces is writing research papers, like you have said. That is the greatest challenge, especially if from January to December you have not been able to come up with one, and all that, and none is undergoing review. You begin to. So that is a challenge. But then the most important thing to overcome those challenges is being focused and determined.
Okay.
Know what was set goals for yourself, and then work towards those goals. Some you achieve, some you may not achieve, but at least you're working towards something. That's okay.
That's good. So in 30 seconds, AI is part of academic environment, higher education in general. What is your view about it?
Yeah. Um, well, AI has come to stay. It is real. But then the challenge is, how do we handle it? And I've always emphasized that AI should be used responsibly
Yeah.
by everybody, because of the negative impacts that it has. When a new technology emerges, it comes with a buzz, but behind that buzz are some negative effects, and AI is not has its own negative effects. But for those of us in academia, the most worrisome issue about AI is uh, when we see students or even the academia themselves relying so much on AI, and that impairs critical thinking. It impairs critical thinking and also decision making. So these are the challenges that are there with the use of AI. But